Welcome back second prep وحلقة جديدة وبنكمل our science syllabus تحت رعاية وإشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. النهاردة هنبدأ مع بعض آخر lesson في unit 1 وهو lesson 4. It's talking about water وهننقلكم نقلة مختلفة شوية من ال 3 lessons أو the previous 3 lessons. كنا بنتكلم عن الكيمستري والبريودك تيبل والإليمنتس and so on. النهاردة هنتكلم على حاجة مختلفة وهو الووتر. احنا عارفين ان تستحيل الحياة من غير الووتر. 71% of the earth's surface is about water. الحياة لما ابتدت بوجود الماء. فwater is a very important substance and it enters in a lot of fields and we use it in a lot of uses. هنبدأ النهاردة نتكلم عن الووتر والكومباوند ده what does it consist of والبروبرتيز بتاعته ايه و how what are the bonds inside this kind of compound. It's a very essential compound. طيب الووتر عارفين انه بيدخل في جميع مجالاتنا. We use it in all fields like agriculture زي الزراعة بيدخل في الجروث بتاع البلانتس والكروبس وزي البيرسونال يوزز والاندستري. فلو تعالوا نبدأ مع بعض. We're going to talk today about water. What are the uses of water? Number one, زي ما قلت, we use it in agriculture, in growing plants. So water enters everything in our life. Number one, in agriculture. Number two, in personal uses like washing, cleaning houses, factories, buildings, hospitals, and so on. تخش في مجالات كتيرة. طيب, number three, and industry. Like for example, chemical factors. It is used to clean equipments, enters a lot, used in a lot of reactions inside the chemical factories, and so on. So what are the uses of water again? We use it in agriculture, we have personal uses, and we have it in industry. طيب, ايه هي بقى sources of water? من الطبيعة, الwater موجودة في rivers, we get it from rivers, we get water from rivers, rains, wells, springs, seas, and oceans. Again, we have 6 sources of water that God وهبنا ربنا بيها اللي هو ايه؟ rivers, أنهار, المطر, rains, wells, springs, seas, and oceans. ايه اللي بيميز الووتر عن بقيه الكومباوندز؟ الووتر in ordinary temperature هو السبستنس الوحيد اللي بيبقى موجود in the 3 states of matter. ايه هم ال 3 states of matter؟ solid, liquid, and gas. We can find this compound or this special compound in a form of ice in ordinary temperature and in a form of liquid, water in the ordinary temperature برضو. And as water vapor, as a gas. So what makes water very special? That it exists in 3 states at ordinary temperature. Solid when it's ice, liquid when it's water, and gas when it's water vapor. Let's continue together. What is the structure of water? The water, we know from first prep, it consists of 1 oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atom. And between these 2 atoms there are bonds. طب ايه التايب او الكايند of bond اللي بتعمل لينك ما بين الاتومز دي؟ هما 2 single covalent bond. It is the 2 single covalent bond. And we will learn later on how to draw the structure of water. طيب, to form a 2 single covalent bond, this is the water molecule. This is an example of a water molecule as you see. The oxygen, it has 1 atom, which is oxygen, and 2 hydrogen atoms, okay, which is hydrogen. The angle between the 2 single covalent bond, which is this one, here, this angle represents 104.5 degree. this angle represents 104.5 degree and it's between the two single covalent bond. طب ليه أنا قلت 2؟ Because I have here's a bond, this is a covalent bond and this is another covalent bond. طب البوند دي موجودة between what and what? Between the hydrogen atom, the first hydrogen atom and the oxygen, and the other hydrogen atom and the oxygen. طيب let's move on. بس في حاجة بقى. Because oxygen has more electronegativity than hydrogen, بيبدأ الأكسجين atom inside a water molecule to annoy a hydrogen atom in another water molecule. We'll discuss it in details. يبقى but the oxygen has more electronegativity than hydrogen. إيه اللي بينتج من ال high electronegativity of the oxygen? A weak electrostatic attraction force occurs. يعني بيحصل force between the oxygen atom and the hydrogen atom in another water molecule. And we will discuss it in details. طيب this weak electrostatic attraction بيخلق لي bond, a weak bond called hydrogen bond. طب دي بتبقى موجودة فين؟ Between the water molecules. It is found between the water molecules and we will discuss this in details. طيب بيقول لي إن if I have for example this diagram, it shows me a 3 water molecule. ده كده water molecule أهو. Okay, this part represents one water molecule and this is another water molecule and this is the third water molecule. ايه اللي بيحصل بقى؟ ان الاكسجين نتيجة الهاي electronegativity اللي عند الاكسجين مقارنة compared to the hydrogen atom بيبدأ يناكف في الهيدروجين اتوم اللي جنبه من الووتر موليكيول الثانيه ويبدا يكون لي a weak bond زي ما احنا شايفين a weak bond called what? Called hydrogen bond. But what is a hydrogen bond? It is a bond found between the water molecules due to the high electronegativity of the oxygen atom in a water molecule أو due to the electrostatic attraction between them. بيبدأ يحصل ما بينهم attraction force. طيب تعالوا نشوف مع بعض. The hydrogen bond is طبعا is weaker than the covalent bond and we will discuss it in details. What is a hydrogen bond? بيقول لي it's a bond formed between molecules of the same compound. يعني between مثلا two water molecules. If I have مثلا a water molecule like this, عندنا لو خدنا sample of a drop of water we will see millions of molecules. طيب دي مثلا water molecule بيحصل ان بيكون لي hydrogen bond between another water molecule. So the hydrogen bond can be existing between two similar atoms like water and water or between sugar and water. يبقى between two different molecules. وهندسكس الموضوع ده in details. طب ده نتيجة ايه؟ بتخلق ليه الهيدروجين بوند؟ بتطلع نتيجة ايه؟ نتيجة electrostatic attraction between the hydrogen and the oxygen. طيب how to draw a hydrogen bond. Before we learn how to draw a hydrogen bond, I want you now to concentrate with me, bring an A4 paper, and we're going to draw the structure of water together and the structure of the hydrogen bond also together. Let's start together and prepare an A4 paper with you and a pencil. Okay, تعالوا نشوف مع بعض how to draw the structure of water and how to draw the hydrogen bond between the water molecules. I have oxygen and it consists of 8 atomic number, and hydrogen, it has only 1 electron, and the water is H2O. If I'm going to draw the structure of water, I'm going to take the oxygen. I'm going to use the electrons found in the outermost energy level, which are 6. Okay, I'm going to draw them in a form of X. Right. What's happening is that the hydrogen atom and the other hydrogen atom, they share their electrons together with a bond called 2 single covalent bond. Okay, the why 2? Because they are 2 bonds. So I write 2, and they are single. They're not doubled as we took in first prep. يبقى 2 single covalent bond. طيب, how can I draw the hydrogen bond between the water molecules? دايما أنا عارف إن الأكسجين is the more electronegative atom inside the water molecule. It makes an electrostatic attraction between the oxygen of a water molecule and the hydrogen of another water molecule, like this. Okay? So when I draw a hydrogen bond, I draw a water molecule, I represent a water molecule and another water molecule. بس لازم أبقى واخد بالي إن الهيدروجين bond دي between oxygen atom in a water molecule and a hydrogen atom in another water molecule. So this will be our hydrogen bond. And it is a weak bond. يعني إيه weak؟ يعني with boiling the water it can be broken. But the 2 single covalent bonds, they are very strong. They are very strong. Okay? So you must make sure. But number 1, if you're going to draw the structure of water, you will draw the oxygen with 6 electrons in its outermost energy level, and then you will draw hydrogen on the left side and hydrogen on the right side with their electron. And then you will make the 2 single covalent bonds. طب لو أنا I wanted to draw a hydrogen bond, I'm going to draw 2 water molecules. And when I draw the 2 water molecules, I make dots. Why dots? Because I'm representing that this is a weak bond. It's not a strong bond. It's a very weak bond compared to the covalent bonds. It's compared to the covalent bond, it is weaker. So I represent it in a form of dots. Between what? Between the oxygen atom found in a water molecule and another hydrogen atom in another water molecule. Let's continue our lesson. Okay, عرفنا ازاي نرسم structure of water و how to draw the hydrogen bond between the water molecules. طب لما يجي يقول لي what is a hydrogen bond, I will say it is the bond formed between molecules of the same compounds like water and water, or between molecules of different compounds like sugar and water. طيب ده نتيجة ايه? Why is there a hydrogen bond? Due to the electrostatic attraction between the hydrogen and oxygen. طيب, let's continue. We took how to draw a hydrogen bond, and it's very easy, as I told you, as we discussed it before. طيب, what are the properties of water? Number 1, water is essential for life. Without water, life cannot be continued. طب الwater ده special compound وقلنا قبل كده because it consists of solid state, liquid state, and gas state in ordinary temperature. I can find it in a form of ice, in a form of water, in a form of water vapor. طب ايه بقى properties? Number 1, it's a good polar solvent. هنعرف يعني ايه good polar solvent. It has high boiling point. It's neutral. Electrolysis of water, and we will discuss every property in details. Has low density when it freezes. طيب, let's start certain questions and a group of questions related to this lesson. Number 1, choose. It's telling me in a water molecule, oxygen atom combines with 2 hydrogen atoms by what? 2 what bonds? 2 double covalent bonds, ionic bonds, single covalent, or hydrogen. Of course, they combine by two single covalent bonds. تعالوا نشوف سؤال تاني. All the following are from the substances that dissolve in water except. تعالوا نفكر في السؤال ده مع بعض. What dissolves in water? Of course, magnesium oxide dissolves in water. Remember lesson 1 during the chemical activity series when we burnt magnesium and we took the magnesium oxide and dissolved it in water in order to give us an hydroxide which changes litmus solution into blue. So of course magnesium oxide dissolves in water. طيب salt, sugar, طبعا they dissolve in water. Oil, try this at home. I want you to bring a cup of water and put sugar in a cup of water and put salt in another cup of water and oil and watch which one will dissolve. Of course oil doesn't dissolve in water. But our choose here will be oil. Okay? طيب, let's continue. In a water molecule, the angle between the two single covalent bonds is. اخد بالي قوي وانا بريد a question. When I'm reading a question, I read to the full stop and I check my answer more than once before I choose it. هنا بيقول لي 114 degree or 124 or 104 or 204. Of course, our answer will be 104. طيب أنا عارف إن هي 104.5 بس أنا ما عنديش اختيارات تانية غير 104 so it's approximating. Okay? طيب let's take another choose. يقول لي all the following are from water properties except يعني ما عدا مين؟ It exists in 3 states. It has high boiling point. Its density decreases in freezing. It's a non-polar compound. طيب water exists in 3 states. So it's with us. It has high boiling point. طبعا. Its density decreases in freezing. Yes, it's one of the properties. لكن هي good polar solvent. It's not a non-polar compound. So our answer طبعا will be D. It will be D. Let's move on. Water molecule consists of. قبل ما أقول chooses. It consists of what? هايل. 1 oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atom. تعالوا نشوف مع بعض chooses. 2 atoms of 3 different elements. 3 atoms of 2 different elements. 3 atoms of 3 different elements. 4 atoms of 2 different elements. طبعا water consists of 3 atoms with 2 different elements لأن أنا عندي 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So our answer will be B. It will be B. Okay, let's move on. There are what bonds between the water molecules? There are hydrogen, covalent, ionic, metallic. خد بالك هنا هو بيقول لي between water molecules. He didn't say or he didn't mention between the water atoms. If I'm talking between water molecules, so I'm talking about the hydrogen bond. I'm not talking about the 2 single covalent bond. لكن إمتى أقول covalent؟ لو قال لي water atoms, between the water atoms. So here my answer will be hydrogen because I'm talking about water molecules. I'm not talking about water atoms. دي كانت مجموعة من الchooses وتعالوا نكمل مع بعض الأسئلة and please prepare an A4 paper in order to record these questions. Okay, let's continue our questions. Our question here is a complete question. Really complete the following. Water is used in many fields. Like what? excellent agriculture, industry, and personal uses. Type water molecules are linked together by, of course, hydrogen bond. Due to what? Due to the electrostatic attraction between the oxygen and the hydrogen atom. طب هنا بيقول لي bond due to the what? Due to the higher electronegativity of oxygen with respect to the hydrogen. طب مين اللي كان عنده more electronegativity? Of course, الأكسجين. طيب, a give reason question. It's a very important question. بيقول لي presence of the hydrogen bond between water molecules. Why is it present? Why is it present? Due to the electrostatic attraction between the oxygen atom and the hydrogen atom. طيب, from the following figure, answer the following. I have a drawing. This drawing represents 3 water molecules. تعالوا نشوف الدروينج قبل ما نحل الأسئلة. هلاقي إن دي عبارة عن water molecule linked with another water molecule, and this is our 3rd water molecule. I'm going to ask myself, before I look at the questions, the water molecule consists of 2 single covalent bonds, which are between the oxygen atom and the hydrogen atom of 1 water molecule. And there is a weak hydrogen bond which links between the oxygen atom in a water molecule and the hydrogen atom in another water molecule. طب let's figure out our questions. بيقول لي mention the kinds of bonds of X and Y. Of course, X is found between the atoms of a water molecule. So of course it represents the 2 single covalent bond. While Y, it is found between the water molecules, which is called the hydrogen bond. Right. Let's take our other question. Which one is stronger? We figured it out before when we drew the hydrogen bond. Of course, the hydrogen bond is weaker than the 2 single covalent bond. So I would say that X is stronger than Y. By this, we have finished our questions and our variant questions. I think they are very important. Please study them regularly. Let's see the last question. Complete. The figure represents, this figure represents the structure of course, the water molecule. Make sure when you answer any question to read it carefully and look very carefully what the question is asking for. I want you at home to practice on these questions and practice on how to draw the structure of water and the hydrogen bond. Let's continue. Okay, today we started a new lesson, and it was the last lesson in Unit 1. It's called water, and we know now that water is a very essential and important compound, as we cannot imagine our lives without water. Water enters a lot of fields like agriculture. It's important for growing plants, giving out crops, vegetables and fruits, the food products. It enters in a lot of beverages like soda cans, Pepsi, everything. Everything we use, also we need water. We need water to clean, we need water to wash, we need water to plant, and we use it also in industries. And we took today that there are a lot of sources of water, and that water consists of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. And we also took that the oxygen has a higher electronegativity than hydrogen, as it forms an electrostatic attraction between the oxygen in a water molecule and the hydrogen in another water molecule. وخدنا كمان إن عندنا a lot of properties concerning water. Number 1 of them is that water is neutral, and we will discuss it in our next episode. And we took electrolysis of water, and we will study it in details in our next episode. And we took also that water freezes under water has low density when it freezes, and we will discuss this also. And it's a good polar compound. So water has very special properties that we will discuss later on. For today, I want you to study very well how to draw the structure of water and how to indicate or draw the hydrogen bond. I want you to practice yourself on this kind of drawing, and I wish you enjoyed this episode of today, and please study well, and looking forward to see you again. Thank you. Goodbye.